Okay, we're going to do the solar update. 5 years in the making. I didn't try to do cheap solar, but I did it. Now, I want you to pay attention. If you got any questions, go back to these episodes 3, 4, 5, and 22. That's where most of this information is. And then we're going to add you the update. Now, this is basically what we got. The solar update. The panels were $259 for 2. So that's times 2. The controller was $149. And the batteries were $750 for 4. And the cables are about $70. So approximately $1,500 Canadian. We have a solar system. Now, this is not an ad for Canadian Tire, but Canadian Tire can use it. What we did was we used all Canadian Tire stuff because it's easy to come by. Every Canadian Tire store's got it. That's the only reason we got Canadian Tire. And the good thing about it is when you put Canadian Tire stuff on, you wait till the sales come on. And then you go buy them. And they'll put sales on all the time. They won't tell you ahead of time when they are, but they'll come on sale. So anyway, what we did was, if you go back to the other videos, you'll see exactly what we did. We put 400 watts on the roof. We bought a 3,000 watt inverter, which is a Canadian Tire inverter, and 30 amp controller, which is Canadian Tire, and we'll show you what we do. Now, we changed a couple things since we first built it, so there might be some changes here. Basically, what we do is the batteries have never gone dead. They've gone low, but not dead, because the Canadian Tire, the inverter shuts off at 10.5 volts, right? Now, when I show you what we did, just remember that we use the kidneys. So we know we only have 3,000 watts. So we don't run the microwave and the electric frying pan and all this stuff. We do it in spurts. We run the coffee machine, and then Elle will do her hair, and then I'll make toast, and then that's the way we do it. Now, the hot water heater is unhooked, and we don't use the fridge. Well, when you do, you'll know real quick, because that was the only time it killed my batteries, because the fridge, and I'll tell you that if you go back in the video, the fridge draws 350 watts alone. So the solar can barely keep up to the fridge. Now, the only problem I'm going to tell you with solar that nobody will tell you is that as long as the big hot spot is up there, you got it made. If it's not, you don't have no solar. And when it goes dead, it's dead. Now, we're very unfortunate because, well, except for last year, is that we go to Arizona and Alberta. And Alberta it usually stays summer or sunny. So, except for last year. We don't want to go into the 79 days of rain. So, you just have to watch that. Now, like I said in the first couple videos, this system, and if you want to set up a solar system, I'll tell you how to set up a solar system, is set it up for a coach with no panels. So you put the batteries in, you hook the inverter in, you charge controller, the batteries in the inverter, and then you take a wire from the batteries and charge it off your truck. Just like any motorhome. Same system. Then add the solar panels after. That's how you get a bulletproof system like this. Like, this isn't Einstein. This is bulletproof. Like, we use this. We beat the living daylights out of this. We wore one inverter out, and I think that's because I hang it upside down and on the side, and it just sort of beat itself up, I think. 3.5 years. So, the thing about an inverter is that there's some really expensive ones out there. I'm not going to take away from all the expensive solar. I'm not going to say nothing. Because, like, you go watch Will Prouse, and Will Prouse is one of the smartest guys when it comes to solar, bar none. He's just got it all figured out. And if that's what you want, then go get it. But like me, I like playing around. So I like getting the cheap stuff and see how good it is. And I'm telling you, For the price of this solar, you can't beat it. So what we done was we hooked the batteries into the truck, and there's no solar on the trailer at all because there's no room. So we put all the solar on the truck. Now, we put the batteries, the panels, the charge controllers all in the truck, and then we plug the trailer into the inverter, as you'll see. And I'll take you up there and show you that right now. Okay, so up behind the truck here, all we got is you got the inverter hanging on the wall, and right now you can see it's 13.2, and there's only about a 10 watts of draw right now, very little. And you see up here on the controller, the batteries are about 3/4 full right now. So yeah, they're about 3/4 full, and it's out in the sunlight. And we don't charge it. We haven't done a thing to it. We made toast, and Elle did her hair this morning, everything. Now all we do is bring a cord back, and we plug it in with a 15 amp cord to the front of the trailer. Now, we have two circuits in our trailer. We have a 15 amp and we have a 30 amp. The 30 amp is the one that originally come with. So when we unhooked the hot water tank, we hooked the 15 amp to that breaker. So when we're on 15 amps, I turn the breaker on. We're on 30, I turn that one on. We never have two of them on the same time. So that's a simple system, and everything in our trailer, the microwave, the television, the hair dryer, all the plug-ins, the fridge, everything is on solar. Even the air conditioner is on solar, but we don't run it on solar because it, you do the math. It takes 2,400 watts to start it, and it runs on 18, so it just sucks. It'll run on the solar, but it sucks it dry. So we never use air conditioning anyway. We run for 70 degrees. So this is a really super cheap system, and it works. So I'm not saying it's a foolproof system. I'm not saying it's a perfect system. I'm not saying it's a cheap system. I'm just saying it works. And I use lead acid batteries. That's all I use. Because you think about that. I paid $750 for 4. You can't even buy a lithium for that. And the other thing is when I bought these, and I'm gonna find out, because when the guy sold it to me at Battery World in Edmonton, he said, "Oh, these things will last you 12 years." Well, I'm counting down. We're into 2 already, so we're gonna, or sorry, 3 years now. So it's not. I'm not saying it's a perfect system, but it sure works for us. It works great. I hardly ever use a generator. The only time we had to use a generator mostly was back in Canada when it rained all them 79 days. Did I tell you about that? It's not, I'm not saying it's perfect, but don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm just saying that this works really, really good for us. And we boondock almost 90% of the time, and we never plug into power. Like, hardly ever. So I'm just going to leave that with you. If you have any questions, don't be scared to put a comment down or send me an email at nitrobadge@hotmail.com or anything. I'll try to answer as best I can. But that's my solar update. I hope you get something out of it, and we'll talk to you next time.